If you're successful,
Якщо ти,
is Tyson Fury on your radar to become undisputed?
якщо бій вдасться, чи Тайсон Ф'юрі в тебе на шляху до абсолюту?
Дай Бог, щоб так трапилось.
I, with the help of God, it would
Тайсон
happen.
каже, що він не хоче зі мною боксувати, тому що я не його рівня чи ще щось. Він мене боїться.
Tyson says that he doesn't want to box me, fight me, because I'm not of his level. That's because he's afraid of me.
He wants 500 million.
Він хоче 500 мільйонів.
Він шуткує.
He's probably kidding.
500 лямів? Хто йому дасть 500 лямів?
500 million. Who would give him 500 million?
Я теж хочу 500 мільйонів, і що?
I also want 500 million, and what?
What's good, family? Shout out to your man, the YB, number one Donny in the game right now. Gaza James coming through with a 20 bucks. Much needed bucks right now, 100%. So we just heard there from your mans, Oleksandr Usyk, airing out Tyson Fury. Look at them eyes, man. Yeah, goggle eyes, 100%. Listen, Usyk giving it all the goggle eyes. And what, end of the day, let me tell you, man, now, off the rip, this is what need to be happening. Yeah, I just see, I'm pissed off with Fury right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, for all the support I've been giving Fury, call me what you are, YB, he a Johnny come lately, call you whatever you want to call it, yeah? End of the day, I've been giving Fury his props, and what for? What do we get back for it? Oh, we get Tyson Fury sucking off Anthony Johnston today. Oh, leave AJ alone. He's rich. How many times have I been telling you, man, recently? I'm so sick of hearing how rich and successful these cats are. As if we don't already know. Fair enough, yeah? I'm all for educating people. Yeah, educate the dumb masses, of course. If we don't get something, if the poor masses need to understand something, I'm all for communication, but fucking hell. Yeah, Tyson Fury, Mr. Mental Health. In fact, Tyson Fury put a video out the other day saying, oh yeah, it's so bad, social media is so fake and it's bad for mental health. My man's posting his Ferrari and Rolls Royce, doing everything that everyone else is doing. It's like, I got no problem with that, but don't be, the hypocrite thing don't work, in my opinion, yeah? If you got a problem with social media, live like you got a problem with social media. Don't be doing what everyone else be doing. Goober. Anyway, listen, like I said, I'm pissed off, and I'm glad that Usyk doing this, because meanwhile, we've got Fury sucking AJ off. Like, what? Again, in that, I'm going to do a separate video on this, but just quickly, in that video, yeah, and talking about hypocrite, Fury himself says, oh, I don't know why people call AJ a useless bodybuilder. He's really successful. Oh, am I missing something here? The man who made up the useless bodybuilder is wondering why people call him a useless bodybuilder. Come on. I don't know what to be fair to Fury, we've been known that Fury wakes up on a certain side of the bed and just, he got no hypocritical gauge in his bonds. Tyson Fury has no hypocritical gauge in his bonds. He just swings from left to right, no shame. But anyway, on that basis, having seen that, oh, and also AJ, so you wait there a minute, 1 minute you got Fury sucking AJ off, and then AJ today, Gareth A. Davis, aka Russell Crowe, he came through and said, boom AJ, would you like to fight Fury, and what have you got to tell him? AJ said, yeah, I'd like to get some money for it, but I don't have any words for him. I want to leave it at that. These guys are wet, and on that basis, yeah, 2-2s. Now, you man know me, I'm not a massive fan of Usyk, I ain't gonna lie to you, but still, as far as, I mean, it's so boxing, or heavyweight boxing is so down bad, it's about relevance, it's about relative, yeah, it's about relative down badness right now. There is no king of this game, unfortunately. You know, I've been saying for a while, I'd like for Fury to take it by the horns and own it, but he don't want to own it. He won it all of a sudden. Fury's been desperate for that accolade of the best and to be the baddest or whatever. Now he's got it. He want to be everyone's friend. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think, to be honest, I think they're all cabal agenda. That's what I think it is. I think they've all been told by the cabal, you best be super duper moist and friendly. Because I don't get it. How come we have 100 or 50 years of heavyweight championship alpha dominance where none of them were friends? Yeah, no, they just weren't. None of them were friends. They couldn't stand each other for the most part. For the most part, these cats couldn't stand each other. But yet, in the most zesty of times, everyone in 2022, everyone trying to be friends. Oh, AJ, the best. Oh, I love AJ. He's not a bodybuilder. The man who'd been calling AJ the bodybuilder for 10 years, all of a sudden, he ain't a bodybuilder, and everyone needs to respect AJ. Get out of here, man. I ain't trying to hear that. Anyway, so on that basis, like I said, Usyk's never going to win Fighter of the Year for me. Well, who knows? If Usyk comes out and he starts... Oh, obviously, I'm not expecting him to come out like Mike Tyson, but if Usyk comes out and uses his IQ, part of the reason I struggled to give Usyk credit for IQ, for me, yeah, IQ is when you're able to use it to get the ultimate goal. Again, part of the reason I never really rated Floyd like that is like, well, if you got so much IQ, why is it the bums you're fighting leave with their consciousness intact? We know champions before you got KOs more than you, so which is it? If you're really smart, use that smartness to knock someone out, no? There's nothing more pinnacle than taking someone's consciousness and punching it out of their head for them. That's the ultimate, isn't it? You know what I mean? No one wants to lose consciousness. So to be able to steal that from someone, to snatch consciousness right out of their bonds, that's the ultimate prize. Usyk, for the most part, hasn't been willing to demonstrate that. Much like Floyd, he's happy to go in there and use his super IQ to do the bare bones minimum. That's why I don't give it credit. Yeah? What Usyk traditionally has done has been the bare bones minimum, which is good for him. Well, good for winning fights, nicking fights, yeah, but it's not good on a historical standard, in my opinion. Other people love it. Great for you, but I'm consistent here. The same way I didn't like what Tyson Fury was doing with Vlad. And the same way Tyson Fury's changed his style, I'm giving it credit. I'm consistent here. That don't do it for me. Tippy tappy don't do it for me. And it even more pisses me off when people refuse to finish their dinner. Yeah? Bottom line. It's very disrespectful, yeah, not to finish your dinner. I don't know where Usyk was brought up, yeah, but where I'm from, you finish your dinner, finish the whole plate. Yeah, what do we know? Usyk go in there with AJ. Dinner, you know what I mean? Eddie Hearn cooked Usyk a lovely dinner, fresh dinner, $50 million dinner, and he wasted half of it. He left AJ on the ropes begging to be KO'd. Yeah, I'm not trying to watch that. But anyway, now you've got all the back information. 2-2s. Yeah. Usyk comes out and bums Fury. And I wasn't expecting that. Usyk traditionally has been the guy who, very nice, I like, yeah. How much? And all that kind of stuff, yeah, 100% Borat. Yeah. Usyk traditionally has been on his Borat thing. I like, how much? I mean, very nice, I like, how much? Yeah, all that kind of stuff. That's what he's been traditionally on. And next thing you know, and I rate Usyk for this because he tired of hearing Fury's capping. He tired of hearing all the Fury weird ass funny games, wanna be weird ass, you know what I mean, zesty games. He said, listen Fury, we'd all want 500 million. Yeah, you ain't gonna get it. Boom, that was the first one. And the second one was, the real reason you're putting out all these narratives about you want 500 million and you don't want to fight with me is because you're scared. Yeah? Do I believe that? Oh, you know what? At this point, why not? Yeah. If Fury genuinely, yeah, is going to stay retired, and that's another thing, by the way. You got to bear in mind that, number one, Tyson Fury has refused to vacate his belt. And not only that, even today, Fury was tweeting Hathor Bjornsson. Yeah, Hathor Bjornsson is literally a world level or top dog in the, not weight pumping. He does the other one, strongman. Yeah? Functional weight pumping. Thor Bjornsson has been doing a bit of boxing. He boxed the ears off Eddie Hall, and Tyson Fury has been, in fact, in the last 48 hours, yeah, Tyson Fury has tweeted Ngannou and Thor Bjornsson. So put all these things together, people. You've refused to relinquish your belt. That's the first strike. Second strike, you're tweeting all the bodybuilders to box. It's like, wait there a minute. So you won't fight Usyk, who's in the sport you're meant to be the baddest of, but yet you'll be trying to set up all these weird exhibition fights. Now, I'm sorry, people. I don't rate that. And it's different because if Fury was 40, yeah, or even 37, 38, I'd say, you know what, I get it. But he's in the prime of his life and he's acting weird. That is suspect. I'm sorry. I'd like to think he's not scared of Usyk, but I'm starting to think, what is the problem here? Why not feel... If you're happy to go in there for Bjornsson, yeah, or you're happy to go in there with Ngannou, you can't tell me taking a whack off of Ngannou is going to do less damage than fighting Usyk. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. So, what's the problem here? If you're worried about all this, I need to retire healthy, well, don't fight no one then. But don't hang around holding the belt up. And, because for all we know, people, there's a false narrative out there that, Fury is not causing any problems. Well, he is, because for all we know, Deontay Wilder, I bet you any money, yeah, if Fury liberated the WBC belt and let it go, like he's supposed to do if he's retired, yeah, the odds of Deontay Wilder coming back and getting in there for that belt will go up exponentially. So we are losing out. Because from Deontay Wilder's point of view, why would he want to come back and fight for nothing? It's a lot harder. It's a lot more of an ask to come back and fight for nothing than it is to say, you know what, Wilder, we'll give you another shot at the WBC title. Because for me, there's no one more deserving. At this point in time, no one. Deontay Wilder will be top of the list for the WBC. Deontay Wilder versus Joe Joyce. I like that fight. That makes sense. Deontay Wilder versus... Who else is there? Ruiz versus Ortiz winner, possibly. Yeah. But either way, so that narrative of, I'm not causing no problems. You are causing problems. And it's weird. It's getting, for me, yeah, it's getting weird now. The whole shtick from Fury is getting weird. Make your mind up. Pick your lane and be done with it. If you want to become a weird 33-year-old exhibition fighter, so be it. But leave the sport alone and drop the belt. And Usyk, for me, I'll be by... And I hate to say it, but the fact Usyk's saying this now and calling Fury out and saying you're scared, what are we supposed to do, people? Are we supposed to... Or people who back Fury, are we supposed to say on the internet saying, no, Fury would smoke him, would he? Well, if he would, it's kind of like a logical error. If Fury fans are going to say that Fury would smoke Usyk, begs the question, why isn't he lining up to do it? Why isn't he lining up to be the first undisputed champion at heavyweight? To be the first 4-belt undisputed champion? Fury loves history and loves legacy, but he won't take the easy fight. I'm sorry, but it's suspect. Especially when he's doing all the things I said he's doing. Trying to line up weird fights with bodybuilders and buff dudes like Ngannou. Just weird, it's odd. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it at all. And I'm glad, I hope Usyk... Well, assuming Usyk wins, I hope Usyk stays on Fury as well. Yeah, I expect Usyk, I hope Usyk just stays mugging Fury off now. Because why not? If he's going to stay around, or if he's going to stay away and play fairies, and play suck AJ off, then so be it. Usyk might as well, because I've told you before, I have a different way of looking at resumes. Yeah? If someone calls someone out, and they don't, and they're doing weird things like Fury's doing, that counts as a KO loss in my book. Yeah, if you get caught, if you're active in the game fighting bodybuilders, and you've got a belt like Fury has a belt, and Usyk calls you out, and for whatever reason you don't take that fight, that's what I call a duck, and that goes on your resume as a KO loss, because if we're not going to get it, then we have to assume the worst. Because what are you avoiding here? I don't understand it. Because you're not avoiding taking more damage because you're happy to go in there with other people. Which tells me that's a duck, isn't it? If you're happy to go in there with Ngannou, but you don't want to go in there with Usyk, explain it. I don't understand that at all. I don't get that. You either want to be retired or you don't. Because Fury, the thing is as well, Fury's training anyway. So what is it? None of it makes sense. So, when things don't make sense, we have to go with the only glaring thing, and that is that Fury's nervous about Usyk. I didn't believe it, but at this point in time, I don't know what to say. Anyway, respect to Usyk for getting these out. If I was Usyk, from a managerial point of view, this is the right play. Stay on Fury's neck, yeah? Bottom line, stay right on his neck, 100%, no doubt.